Ahead of the Memorial Day weekend. We've always known we had great parks, but it's always nice to be confirmed. Joining us this morning is Joanna Frank. She is the president and CEO of the Center for Active Design, talking about the importance of these green spaces and parks for our physical well-being. Good morning. How are you, Joanna?
Good morning. I'm very well. Thank you.
Very good. So, interesting job you have looking at design and the importance of this in all of our cities. What are you finding?
Sure, absolutely. So I think we've always known that parks make us feel good, but what we can tell you today is there's actually 100 years of research that is telling us that our parks actually have a really big impact on our mental health, reducing levels of stress and anxiety, which I know we can all use. And they're also really great for interacting with one another. And I think post-COVID, everybody really became aware of social isolation and loneliness and what a big impact that has on our overall health, but also our life expectancy. And parks are a great antidote to loneliness.
And one of the pieces of your research is that these parks change our perception of the community. And is this kind of like, even as you're driving around your community, when you see the beautiful park, even if you're not playing in it, it affects you. It makes you change all of your thoughts about where you live, yes?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it absolutely increases the trust that we have in each other, in the community, and also in authority figures. So government, police, all of that is actually quite seriously impacted by having a great park in your neighborhood. And when we say a great park, it has to be well maintained. Because what we also see from the research is if that park is poorly maintained, it actually has a really serious negative impact on our levels of trust, both with each other and authority figures. So great if it's well maintained, really negative if it's poorly maintained.
Interesting. So if you have a park and you come across a syringe or so, you know, like it's those kind of things that you actually feel afraid to be in the park or have anything to do with it. But on the other hand, if it's just, as you say, beautifully maintained and really nice, then suddenly you feel like this is a safe place and such a happy place to be. Is it that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest determinants of that trust piece is actually how well maintained the green space is.
Yeah.
So if you have plants and trees that look healthy and verdant, then that's going to have, it's about a 5% positive impact on trust. If those trees are dead or half dead, then it's actually a -5 on the percent of people who trust each other and their community.
Wow.
So you can see that's a really big swing. Yeah, a 10% swing in our levels of trust.
Is what you're telling now part of the TPL score, annual ParkScore index?
So that's, yes, so Trust for Public Land, that's not us. So what we do is we translate health. Generally, what Trust for Public Land has done is put all of this information together in a park score, and they are absolutely looking at how well maintained that park is, the access to the park, equity, how big the park is, and how much investment is going into the park. So those are the kind of things that went into ParkScore, which is what Cincinnati got rated 8th in the country for, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it is fantastic, and not at all surprising to us here because you're constantly seeing people out working in our parks, volunteering at the parks. We do interviews with the great parks that have all these great activities, and it does make it a wonderful place to live here. A final word from you. We have about 20 seconds, Joanna.
Absolutely. I think we've always known that parks are great for our health. I think now we actually have the evidence base behind it, so we don't have to think of this as a nice to have, right? This is actually really benefiting our health and our overall life expectancy. So I think the quality and the value in parks has really now increased in a way that we can measure.
Very good. Wonderful to get this insight from you, Joanna Frank. We appreciate it. Enjoy this beautiful day, and we'll check back in with you. Good information.
Thank you.
All right, let's